mistakes, we will realize that we can still choose better. We just need to ask the right questions, do it for the right reasons, have the right motivation towards the right destination. We did not slow down. We are still on track, advancing towards where we're meant to be, making the life we want for ourselves and for our future. Transform your life with the right strategy, the right plan, and the right system. Introducing Sante. Create more moments. Make more memories. Forge your own legacy. A legacy of creating more of the life you want. Let Sante show you how you can plan the life you want. Create the life you want.
Hello, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Crisis or Nor Crisis webinar here in Sante International. Welcome to the Sante Engage Facebook page, and also welcome everybody inside our Zoom for this afternoon. It's another webinar Wednesday, and I'm sure everybody is excited for a special webinar for this afternoon. But before we start, of course, we'll greet everybody inside our Zoom meeting for this afternoon. I see Ma'am Mercy Baldelovar. I see Melody Malinaw. Okay, about to come in. Who else? Of course, nandito po si Miss Aida Valerio. I see JV Luyong. I see Alan Constantino, Tin Verba, Cecil Erinea, Ma'am Chi Abawag is in the Zoom meeting. Welcome, Ma'am Chi. Okay. Also, who else is here? We now have 109 inside our Zoom meeting. Zoni Opelec, Cherry Claro, Eden Abuda, Ma'am Ederlyn Panopio is here. And I've heard Mr. Gab Icalla, the birthday boy, is also here. Happy birthday, Mr. Gab Icalla, one of our Sante Elite PH members. Welcome to the Zoom meeting. Okay, also, batin po tayo mga kaibigan sa ating attendees, ating Sante Engage Facebook page. Exciting afternoon, everybody, because I'll be introducing the speaker in a while. Batin muna tayo sa ating Facebook Live, baka magtampo. Okay. Let's check who is inside our Sante Engage Facebook page. Okay. Watching live. Okay. By the way, this is another edition brought to you by Sante Engage. Okay. So let me check. Sino-sino po nandito? Clifford Bonter is in the house. Ma'am Sheila Babas Chico is inside Facebook Live. Who else? We have Christy Florendo. Too many to mention. We now have 102 people watching live and 117 inside our Sante Engage Zoom meeting for this afternoon. Webinar Wednesday. Exciting afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. But before I call in and introduce our speaker for this afternoon, I'll be calling Miss Bing Kalinawan for a special announcement.
Special announcement. Good afternoon. Great day, everyone. Hong Kong, Singapore, Macau, Cyprus, UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, sa lahat ng ating mga Sante International and local branches. Okay, so get ready, relax, pen and paper, do not forget kasi baka meron kayong very interesting na makikinig, mapapakinggan from the speaker. So it's better to write it down. So learning time tayo. Tsaka I think may pag-games yung ating speaker for today. Okay? So bago ang lahat, merong announcement. Tonight, 7 o'clock, huwag niyong kalimutan, after this 7 o'clock, Doctor's Wellness Training, very short lang ang kanyang talk. Didiscuss lang niya dalawang topic lang, dalawang ingredients ni barley. Pinromote yung program ko, di ba? Beta-glucan at saka superoxide dismutase na nasa barley, nakakatulong to improve our immune system. Paano? Bakit? Makinig kayo tonight. Okay? Walang Zoom training. Nasa Facebook engage po tayo lahat. Okay? So Ian, do I announce the special announcement?
Yes, please do, Miss Bing.
Okay, so i-announce ko yung nanalo or team for the night last Monday. Okay? We have the poster. Congratulations. Hindi ko napapatagalin. Congratulations to Team Wellnex. Congratulations sa inyo because kayong nanalo ng team for the night. Your hard work and unity pays off. Nasa yung kanyang poster na yan. Okay? Team Wellnex, congrats. Yung inyong prize, makipag-coordinate na lang kayo sa NetDev. You can pick it up sa Ion. Makipag-coordinate tayo kay Aba. Baka pwede niyong kunin doon. I know it's mga products, no? Magagamit niyo yan sa group nyo for some fun or baka meron din kayo mga paraffol, okay? So, okay, again, congratulations, Team Wellnex. Ayan. Engage Zoom Assembly Team of the Night. Congrats, headed by Jas Lorque and Dory Bobbies at lahat na ng mga leaders. Hindi ko kayo mababanggit. Congrats sa inyo. Thank you. Team Wellnex.
Congratulations, Team Wellnex, our third weekly champion for the Sante Engage Zoom Assembly Team of the Night. Okay, congratulations. Indeed, Ma'am Bing, teamwork pays off. No?
Yes.
Very, very close fight actually. Sobrang konting points lang po. It was almost another stallion night. Pero konting-konti na naanuhan lang po ng ilang points.
Yes.
And Wellnex got back the third week.
And that reminds me also, no, na i-rename nyo po yung mga pangalan ninyo kasi alam ninyo, the NetDev team are really having a hard time kasi chine-check po namin kasi pinipicturan and then at least mas mabilis sa amin mag-double check yung mga names ninyo aside dun sa poll na ginagawa natin. Kasi there are other criteria like open cameras, yung mga active, di ba? So pag nakita na namin yung mga group names, madali po yan sa amin. So i-reminder lang po. So next Monday ulit. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Bing. And again, congratulations to Team Wellnex. Makita-kita po ulit tayo sa Lunes para sa ating fourth week of the Sante Engage Zoom Assembly. So who is it going to be for the fourth week of the Sante Engage Zoom Assembly Team of the Night? Again, congratulations to Team Wellnex. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I guess everybody is now excited for this afternoon's webinar. So hindi ko na po siguro patatagalin. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you our resource speaker and coach for this afternoon's webinar. Konting trivia, Ma'am Bing, he was part of the very first Life and Leadership Mastery 1, LLM Batch 1. Okay, so if you still remember, of course, LLM, the very first batch, part of the very first batch was actually even Sir Joey Marcelo. Also, we had Sir Paul Kaluwag was part of that first LLM batch 1. Okay, I'll introduce to you our speaker, ladies and gentlemen. He is the founder and CEO of LifeKite. He has worked extensively with top brands and international entities. He is one of the foremost authorities in transformational leadership within ASEAN region. Featured as keynote speaker for Social Media Week, Manila 2018 and 2019, a contributor to Modern Parenting Online with weekly articles on parenting and personal growth. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Coach Bam Santiago. Hi, Coach Bam.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, Ian.
Welcome.
Hi, Bing. Good. Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone here. Thank you for the introduction, Ian, and salamat sa lahat ng nanonood. Hi, Apple. Hello for everyone from all over the world. Narinig ko binanggit ni Bing kanina. There's people like from all over Hong Kong, Dubai, all over Singapore. Oh my gosh. Maraming salamat. So many. I mean, for being here. I think we almost have 300 people. Tsaka nakakatawa, Bing and Ian. Hindi lang pala sa, I've been doing live trainings for about 10 years already. Pero hindi lang pala sa live nakakaba, kahit pala sa Zoom. Bago mag-enter, kinakaba na I can feel my hands are cold. And I miss this. I miss yung engagement with people. I think the big difference really is, diba, before Ian, alam nito, Ian as a trainer, we would get immediate feedback sa mga tao, whether they were laughing or happy. Ngayon, we have to look at the screen. We have to look at things that they're typing. And when it's completely silent, tayo lang yung pumapalakpak. And tayo lang yung parang nababaliw dito. But I'm so grateful. I'm super excited. Thank you for inviting me, Ian, of course, to Joey Marcelo. I met Joey, I think I was 24 or 25. And sobrang timely nitong topic na to because it's about mindset. And I prepared some, a few slides, but I really wanted to engage everyone here kasi maiksi lang yung time ko. I mentioned that because I was someone who was presented opportunities to change my mindset when I was younger. But I don't know kung may nakaka-relate dito with all the leaders all over the world. I know when you're handling teams, but there are some leaders where, and this could be you, where there are some people who might be very open and ang bilis mag-adjust and mag-adapt, and they're like so committed to working. Humahataw sila kaagad, right? And there are some people, it's a challenge. The experience na ba, or that might be you. Ikaw mismo yung challenge ka, parang, bakit ba, like, I want to be successful, I want to be happy, I want to create change in my life. Like, why am I struggling? Bakit sina Ian, bakit sina Bing? How come it seems like, mas kaya nila? And this is something that I've been studying more. I've been doing seminars for 10 years, but more than that, I've been studying, human motivation and personal growth. What really gets people to commit to lifelong change, and how come other people are struggling and challenged by this? And I do hope, the topic today will be able to uplift you and help you in some way. So first and foremost, again, if you're ready, please type in yes sa comment section so that I know everyone from all over the world is ready. So we're starting with some good vibes. So type in yes so that I know that you guys are ready. 133 people here, 150 dito sa live. So, okay. Before I share any of the slides, and I won't talk so much about myself, but really today I'm just excited to be able to share some insights. So many trainings, Christian mentioned 7 years ago, once when I did the training, I was starting out. That was my technically my first year training, so very newbie, still trying, to discover and learn so many things. But so much has happened since then. So as we get started today, I wanted to do an exercise, and I'm glad Bing mentioned yung I can see your yeses. Let Bing mention the yung pen and notebook. So I'll ask you guys to please participate 100% because this is something that could potentially, as it has helped me and changed my life, it could potentially change and help you today as well. So first things first, since I can see all your yeses and people are already here, on your notebook, and I'll ask everyone to participate here, and I'm going to connect it with mindset as well. On your notebook, first thing I'd like you to write is, and this could be perhaps challenging or emotional for a lot of people, but I'd like you to write down, since private naman to, you know, if you're watching this alone, I'd like you to write down on your notebook the past 6 or 7 months that we've been, for Manila, we've been on lockdown. Or maybe I guess in your part of the world, kung nasa man kayo, you've been locked down at home, you know, you've been cooped up at home. What for you, please write this down on paper, what for you has been the biggest challenge the past 6, 7 months? Pakisulat yon. For those of you and really want you to focus on the challenge. I know there's a lot of good things, there's a lot of blessings. Focus muna tayo sa challenge. So please, I'll give you time. I have a timer here. What has been the biggest challenge for you the past 6, 7, 8 months, depending on how long you guys on your country where you've been on lockdown, or even if you haven't been on lockdown, like what has been the biggest challenge for you? Please write that down. Pakisulat yan. Now, as you're writing it down, I'll give you some hints. Some of you, you're writing down, maybe it's health. Some of you have gone through some health challenges the past months. And maybe some of you here have not even told anyone because meron tayong, in the seminars, we say a lot of people ayaw nilang maging pabigat sa mga tao. So they would keep it to themselves and it gets heavier for them. So maybe for some of you, it was health challenge. Number two, some of you, it was relationship challenge. I mean, I've coached a lot of people the past 7 months. So many struggles within relationship. Imagine being locked down and being unhappy in a situation that you're in. It's so challenging. There are some people who are single and locked down alone. Nahihirapan naman sila sa lungkot. You know, they don't know what to do. Some people are locked down with their children. And, you know, I've heard this in my training. Sabi nila, you know, coach, lahat na ng activity na gawa namin and now we're running out of activities. And I feel like overwhelmed as a mom. Now it's this, homeschooling. And I'm challenged. So what has that been for you? Some of you, it's finances. There's a struggle there. Some of you, it's fear, it's uncertainty. So please write it down. And as you're writing it down, I'm going to ask you if you feel it's okay to share it. It's safe to share whatever it was you wrote down. Please type it in the comment section. So that this is also an exercise where you can release some of that stress, some of that heaviness. And I'll link this to the topic later. And as you're typing that in, you're writing down that challenge. I'll share a little bit about mine. For me, the past 6, 7 months, it's been a roller coaster ride for me. And if nakaka-relate kayo, I mean, type in what your challenge has been. It's been a roller coaster ride of ito. Sometimes I'm okay. Sometimes it gets overwhelming for me. Sometimes I feel, the excitement and the happiness. And sometimes it's just heavy. Sometimes mabigat lang, And if you're like me and you can relate to this, like I said, the first thing I'd like to remind everyone is number one is you're normal. You're a human being, and for those of you who have been trying to put up a we call that your persona, where you're always trying to show people that you're strong or you have it all together or it's always happy. I know for so many people watching here today, nakaka-drain yan. It becomes draining for a lot of people. Right? Bakit siya draining? Because you're not being real and authentic to what's happening, in terms of your emotions, in terms of your spirit, in terms of the internal dialogue that's happening inside your mind. And if anyone can relate, type in yes. I'm not sure if if I'm hanging or not, but I'll just double. Oh, here, may chat. Ano pala, type it in so I know like you guys can relate to things that I'm sharing. And I also want to make sure that you guys can still hear me. Minsan kasi nawawala, right? So some people have said adapting and taking action for things I have been learning. Yes. What has been the challenge? What have been the challenges? Right? So important to be able to write down. And I'll tie it in now. Bakit? For most of us, we don't get to understand mindset because we don't get to hindi natin naiintindihan yung sarili natin. We don't even know those things that we find challenging or nakakabigat sa atin. And a lot of us, we're so focused on things that are okay and are great, but we're not acknowledging things that are a struggle for us. Ang tawag namin dyan are people who are living in a space called denial. How many of you na daanan nyo na yan? You're living in denial, right? Where you know there's a challenge, hindi mo siya hinaharapan, everything seems to be okay for you. That's still part of a mindset, right? And it's a mindset of shame. When I say mindset of shame, what does that mean? It means that you might be going through life, and for you, it's important for you to always have to wear a mask. But that mask is also your weakness. You know, that mask is what's stopping you from, since you're in the business of relationships and connecting with people, that mask is stopping you from the very thing that you want, which is to build deep, long-lasting connections with people, to share your products that can give value to people. So I want to start there first and foremost. And a lot of you who are writing down, who are doing this exercise, I know this. I can see your challenge to run the business since we only just started a few months. A lot of people are going through this. I want to just give this space to acknowledge all of you who are not perfect, all of you who are struggling like me. Kasi there are those of us who are, we've got it all figured out. That's great. But for now, I just want to acknowledge those people who perhaps might be struggling and might be having a difficult time, right? So know that if you're taking notes, know that it's okay, not okay. Alam ko narinig nyo na yan. But it's also okay to experience your emotions as a human being. And, a lot of you are also perhaps being challenged by, how can I connect more, especially when it's online? Well, I say it becomes more difficult to connect when I'm not very real about my own emotions. I'm not very real about, what's happening for me as well. So let's start there. That's number one. I hope you're able to do this exercise. Number two is, I'd like you to shift now. So once you've acknowledged that on paper, knowing that it's okay to not be okay, that it's okay to go through challenges, it's okay to go through struggles. The next question I would ask people normally when I'm doing my trainings is, in life, lagi bang hindi okay? Is it always breaking down? Is it always struggles and trials and adversity? Or do you also get to experience goodness and joy and love and gratitude? So, now we'll do an exercise in flipping a little bit of our focus, right? I'm going to ask you to write on your paper. And this time, I want you to write down, again, I'll hold time for you. I want you to write down the past 9 months or 6, 7 months. What have you been most grateful for the past months? Pakisulat yan. What have you been most grateful for? Please write that down. And I'll just read some of your comments as you're writing down. So now we're shifting to gratitude. What have you been most grateful for? My biggest challenge in my life is to reach my dreams. Challenge is to know what is real and was not due to fake news. That's so important as well. Thank you, Nay Soriano, Tess, Cecil for commenting. Great. Now I'm seeing being grateful for my work, for my health. Yes, for me, I'm grateful for my health as well. I'm grateful for, being able to wake up, the food we get to eat, the opportunity to be able to connect with people online, for social media, for technology. Pakisulat yan. What are you all grateful for today? Please write that down. And when you're writing this down, my request is for everyone to really get into the emotion of gratitude, right? It's not just like saying, oh, God's provision, oh, healthy mind, oh, healthy. Like when we're doing something, parang routine siya, and it's not really connected to our emotions, you're losing the essence of the exercise. So it's so important to be able, and people will ask you, like, Coach, bakit yan importante? Well, I'll say, how many of you are in a relationship today? If you're in a relationship today, and, you're trying to express love, and sabihin mo lang sa asawa mo, sabihin mo lang, honey, love you. Love you. I mean, how many of you would appreciate that? No emotion. Of course, we're all looking for that connection. We're all looking for that, that form of intimacy and, a deeper bond with people that we love. You expect that, I guess, with your children as well. So when you're writing this exercise, make sure that you're bringing in the emotion of love. You're bringing in the emotion of gratitude. So I can see you're grateful for my work, grateful for my good health from the USA. Thank you, Rosa. Grateful to communicate with people around me, even on social media. Yeah, that is so important. So keep writing down your gratitude and post it here as well. Two things, right? Now, I also what I prepared today, I also wanted to make sure, Ian and Bing, that I get to engage everyone dito later on. As I'm just going to be going through a quick thing on mindset, but I really wanted to engage you guys and make it very real in terms of what you're going through, perhaps with the Q&A later. Kasi I truly believe that all the content is already available online. You You guys can you can Google stuff. I know you're reading your books. I know a lot of you are attending the trainings, but very few of us actually get to engage with someone where we can ask questions, where we can, like ito nakita ko, mga comments where we can ask, where we can engage din naman yung pinaka-theme nyo, right? Where we can engage with people and have a conversation that can help everyone in the chat room. So gawin natin yung mamaya. I really a bit more grateful because of Sante, sobrang healthy ng family ko. At the same time, na quarantine during nakagawa ko ng people like, God bless you, Diana, for that, for commenting. Grateful for friends. Josie, hello, business partners. Tess, I've been so grateful to Sante to help my health now doing this business. I'm glad. Now, did you notice the shift from the first exercise, where first of all, I acknowledge I'm not always grateful. I'm not always okay. And that's okay because that's part of me being human. That's part of my human journey. And then now going back to the second part, which is gratitude and being able to express that, all the things not always going well, there are also things that are going well in my life. I think that's so important for us to be able to notice and to shift to. Grateful for Second Life and Sante opportunity. I'm glad. Okay, so grateful for the people around me. More rude people, but I'm still smiling now. I joined Sante. Thanks, Rosa, for that. But there's a lot that I can share about that later. So grateful for friends, family, my church mate, Sante family. See, yun ang sinasabi ko. I mean, to be able to still be aware of all the good things that are happening. So the bad, usually kasi the challenge is, and I'm sorry if I'm struggling, if I message Ian, I'm sorry if the bandwidth is struggling. This is, it's unfortunately, it's a situation here, umulan, it's raining really hard, and it affects our, it affects our signal. This is our, ano to? Ano daw yan yung, the struggle is real. I feel like I'm grateful, anything I should be grateful has been in autopilot. I can't find what I'm grateful for. Oh, you haven't been grateful. Well, JV, that's honest, and that's something that we can work on. Mamaya pag-usapan natin yan. But that's really, I mean, that's a level. Why am I focusing on this? Because you will, as you're building your team, as you're sharing this to people, you will inevitably, hindi nyo may iwasan yan, you will meet people who might not be in the same headspace as you. Like, how do you deal with that now? Like, how do you communicate with them? How do you connect with them? Hello from Israel. Tuloy-tuloy ang Sante. Hi, Israel. Everyone in Israel. I hope you guys are doing okay. Great. So, again, the point here that I'm making is, it's not all bad. A lot of you watching this, perhaps a lot of the challenges ang naging focus. And we're like, I can't see, just like, was that commented kanina? I look for your comment, where it's difficult for me to find anything that I'm grateful for, right? Si JV. But it's not always going to be all bad, and it's not going to be all good either. You're always going to find some balance. But this is where mindset comes in. Some of you have trained your mindset because of the books that you've read, the trainings that you've attended. Some of you have trained your mindset so much to be able to see the good without denying the not so good. And you're able to work out solutions and handle this while you're focusing on the good. Now, bakit to importante? You could either have a mindset again that is bringing you down. If you're taking notes, you can write it down. You can have a mindset that is either dragging you down, or you can have a mindset that is lifting you up. But I'll guarantee this one thing: if you have a mindset that is pulling yourself down, ang magaguarantee ko is you're possibly also pulling other people down with you. Naramdaman nyo na yan, there are some people that you're with, you just feel naturally good when you're with them. Nakakataas sila ng energy. And there are some people like, how come I'm hanging out with certain people and I feel like the energy is dragging me down? And sometimes, hindi mo ma-express what it is, but it's just something that you feel, right? So, thank you, Spearheads, Diana. So this is important to be able to understand today. Now, I'm going to share my screen and go through just a few slides lang. Then I want to engage you guys, like I said, with any questions and stuff that you have. But let me see. I'll share my screen and I'll just go through mindset really quickly. Now, but as I'm sharing this, I mean, just take those two things to heart. First of all, where has your focus been the past 9 months? On everything that has been wrong and bad, or on everything that has been good and blessing? Or have you found the balance of understanding life is always composed of two things, right? And to not beat yourself up when you are kung naka-experience ka ng challenge or adversity in your life, because that's just how life is designed, right? So think about that as I share my my slides. Okay, I'll try to share my screen. Okay, share. Okay, so I hope you guys. I know you can see this. You're gonna I know you can see the screen. It's called. I entitled this. I know we're talking about winning mindset, but I purposefully put this as developing a winning mindset. Bakit? In my own experience, for me, it has always been about development. Diba? I mean, if I was communicating with Ian, kailangan you have to have the growth mindset. You have to have a winner's mindset. But what if Ian was not in the same pace as me ng pagde-develop, pag-grow ng mindset niya? It's a little bit, it's a little bit slower. But that's his own pace. It doesn't mean it's bad. So I'm trying to encourage people who are watching here, being Ian and everyone from all over the world, that be careful with how you perhaps have a certain value or standard. And nagtataka, you're wondering, how come other people are not as fast as me? Bakit hindi sila kasing bilis ko? Ba't di nila maintindihan? Ang simple lang naman ng sistema, ang ganda ng product, But maybe because you forget that this is also a process of developing your mindset. Like I said, you're not always up, but there are many times you're also very down and you're discouraged. But a lot of us are not able to move forward because we're faking it, meaning we're not being very real about, our that we're still developing, that we're still trying to learn and to grow. So developing a winning mindset. Let's first of all define what a mindset is. Okay, it's a set of beliefs or way of thinking that determines one's behavior, outlook, and mental attitude. Now, a lot of you already know this definition, but sisimplihan ko na lang siya for this training today. Coach, what's a simple way for me to determine my mindset? I think number one is all you have to do is look at your life results. And I know you've had this training over and over again. Meaning, if I can see my life result, what's happening in the area of, with your coaching, with your health, with your relationships, with your money and career, with your spiritual life and your contribution. If I sort of am happy or I'm finding fulfillment in those areas, chances are you have a mindset that is geared towards more of supportive of you creating that life that you want. Okay, base saan? Base sa nakikita mo. Example, if I'm unhappy with my health and I've been trying to lose weight, I've been trying to stay fit, and it's a struggle for me, that's an indicator that you might have a non-supportive mindset. Okay, clear ba yun? I hope that's clear. If it's clear, type in yes. So just I know that I'm still engaging with you guys.
Yes, Coach, that's very clear. Very clear to
I'm
us,
glad.
actually.
Nakakatawa lang Ian kasi I can only hear myself here. There's like 300 people, but it's just all my bosses ko lang yung naririnig ko. Usually you hear people. I love this. Anyway, so, but it's the same thing. Some of you might be here today. You're watching. Sabi mo, Coach, okay ako sa health. I'm sexy. I'm hot. Kahit hindi ako makapag-bikini dito sa bahay ng bikini because I love my body. But my relationship is struggling. My relationship is suffering. And then I say, well, there you go. There's a challenge in mindset. It might be your health, you're fit, you're fit and fab. Pero nakita mo, Coach, bakit kami lagi nag-aaway? Coach, bakit lagi akong depressed? Coach, bakit lagi may conflict and may struggle? Well, there's an indicator of a non-supportive mindset in that area. But it's the same, it goes without saying, money. A lot of us, this is the struggle. Like, how come it's money? I'm tithing, I'm giving, I'm serving in church. This used to be my story. How come this is the struggle? Well, there's a non-supportive mindset there, But some of you might be thinking, Coach, wala namang problema yung wealth. I'm creating it, but I still don't feel fulfilled. There might be something that you're missing in terms of spirituality, in terms of contribution sa life mo. Again, there's a non-supportive mindset there. I'm glad that Ian is giving me feedback na that's important for me. So this is clear. That you don't have to complicate. Wag na natin i-complicate. All you have to do is look at your life and see what is the outcome of my life today, right? Now, I put here, first of all, and again, this is going to be very quick. For me, my experience working as a coach, as a personal growth facilitator, I've realized really that mindset is a choice. And I like using mindset as a choice kasi it helps me to love and respect people, diba? May kilala kayo with your Sante journey who might not have the same mindset as you, and inaway mo na sila kaagad or ginudge mo sila kaagad na masama silang tao, because it just means that they have a different mindset. They're not bad people. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, Ian, I mean, imagine people here, like, what was life for you like 20 years ago? Kamusta ka naman? When maybe you did not have, that different mindset that you have today. Maybe you also hurt people. Maybe you also struggled, maybe left and right din yung utang, I mean, I don't know. But see, for me, it understanding that mindset is a choice, allows me to have more compassion for people, being an Ian, who might not have the same mindset as me. That's why I say, ang indicator ko naman dito is always, I know that it's effective for me. And for me, I call it aligning to God, aligning to Spirit, when it's leading me to be kinder to myself and kinder to people. Because yun naman, wala naman kayong sasamahan na tao na, maybe perhaps yung kinaiinisan nyo, because you feel you feel manipulated or controlled. You might do it for a while, but your resentment will build up. A lot of you're watching this, ang dami ng resentment nag-build up. Kailangan na ng seminar nito. A lot of the anger and hatred and unforgiveness is built up. Well, simply because we did not understand, about choices we have in life. So for me, it's a choice to choose a certain way of life. Like if I go to the left, example lang to, that's a quick metaphor. If I go to the left arrow, it might mean for me a choice to stay the same. How many of you here nahihirapan ka na sa buhay because you choose not to change? Sabi mo, lalo na narinig nyo na to sa mga team nyo, or maybe you've said it before, ganito talaga ako, wala kayong magagawa. Ganyan talaga ako. That's a scary thing to say. But I still have love and respect for people who will say that. But it's a scary thing. Why? Because Ian, sinabi ko na sa akin yan dati. And I was miserable, man. Wasn't making money, hurting people in my relationships. My health was suffering, man. I mean, and I said, ganito talaga ako eh. And people were trying to pray for me and help me. I was a little bit arrogant. Anyone like that? May mga kilala kayong ganyan. So, what I'm saying yun nga to see on the left side, okay, there's the choice to go left, to stay the same. And God bless you if that's your choice. But you look at that right arrow, sabi mo, okay, tignan ko nga tong asfalto na to sa kanan. So maybe you can label that if you're writing. Maybe this is a new choice. So what's the new choice? Maybe the new choice for me, Ian and Bing, is to start taking care of myself. What do you mean? Well, maybe I grew up, people were not very kind sa akin, Ian. Oh, kaya pala ba? Kaya unkind ka din pala sa madaming tao. Yeah, maybe it's now time for me to start seeing how I talk about people, how I talk about myself, how I haven't been, treating my body with since you guys are a health company. I mean, gosh, di ba? Sabi ko in one of my broadcasts, sabi ko, Ian, my dream before was to be an endorser of Pizza Hut, of Coca-Cola, of Dunkin' Donuts, whatever. That was my dream like 30 years ago, when I did not have an awareness about health, And now that I have an awareness, sabi ko, Bing, ganun pala, whatever we put into our body, and adding stress. And nagtataka tayo, like, why is there diabetes? Why is there now, my blood pressure is going crazy. I'm creating an acidic environment in my body. Well, acidic ka na nga because of the food that you're eating. I know you do all the trainings. Plus, stressed ka pa. You're the perfect perfect breeding ground for disease, right? So the new choice would be now for me to start seeing things differently. That's why when I invited Ian, I like how you think, Ian, because you think differently. You're questioning a lot of things, It's not for everyone, but I'm saying for those of us who do question, akala ko dati I could eat all the burgers I want, which I did. Didn't know it was affecting me. I didn't know, plus where food is sourced and all of that stuff. So new choices. But same thing with relationships, the right arrow. Ian, I've been very hurtful how I speak to my spouse, as an example, or to my dad, to my mom, or to my children. Maybe the new choice for me on the right is to start reflecting. Maybe pag binubuli ko sila, or when I'm motivating them by fear, maybe that's not effective anymore. Bakit? It's causing resentment sa anak ko. And I'm trying to project, if my son has a child of his own and he does the same things I do, kawawa naman yung apo ko din, And it's a vicious cycle, and it doesn't end. So now I start seeing on the right side, these are new choices for me to create a new mindset. Then, ito importante, you might not always be in a space where you're very open to choose a more effective mindset. Kaya nga sabi ko, it's day by day, moment by moment. Let me explain. Today, you might have a mindset of choosing love and forgiveness and gratitude, right? But the next day, may na-trigger ka being nabwisit ka or someone, we get triggered. Why do we get triggered ba? Because you're a human being. We forget that. You get triggered by something or someone. So you go back to choice. But this time, and I'll try to sound smart, Ian. They call this your refractory period. Ano ba yung refractory period? It's that space between a trigger and your reaction. Dati, sobrang, bago lang, kakagawa ka lang dati. Sobrang instant yung pag-react mo. It's an instant reaction. Now, your refractory period is, may sinabi ko, Ian, alam mo, Ian, ito. But Ian does not react instantly. Ian sort of like stops. And being sort of like stops. And this, it's sort of like, it gets a little bit longer. So what's happened here, you start creating space in your life to make new choices. If you're taking notes, you start creating space in your life to make new choices. Why? But namin gagawin to, Bam? Well, because the old choices were hurtful. The old choices were causing you, I call it the dags. It used to be the bags. I call it the dags. What are the dags? Depression, anger, guilt, shame. And some people might challenge me, Coach, okay lang yung depression, anger, guilt. Sabihin ko sa'yo, sige, God bless you, try it out for 24 hours. Depressed ka, galit ka, puno ka ng guilt, na masama ka ng tao, and you're ashamed. It's gonna kill you. I mean, I've tried it. I'm tried being in that space. It doesn't work, right? So now you understand, now I know I have just a little bit of space so that I'm not always reacting in terms of what's happening in my environment. I'll talk a little bit about it more. So it's connected. Medyo nauna ako ng konti. By the way, just stop me anytime, Ian, if there's any insights or whatever. I speak fast, I'm also mindful of.
I just reminded me of that refractory moment. You call that refractory?
Yes.
We call it the 5-second window by Mel Robbins. She has that concept of at least counting before that 5-second window closes out. You can do the right thing. I mean, decide for the right thing to do.
Yeah. With the Mel Robbins thing, I mean, it's basic neuroscience. Nax, para mukha na naman ako matalino. I think to study neuroscience is so important because we understand if you're reacting to everything around you, and there's a lot on social media. Mag-scroll ka lang one day. Grabe nung sinasabi nila. Grabe tong buhangin. Grabe tong ganito. I mean, it's how it's designed. We're always going to see something. But then that's where you start creating your life experience to become a victim. What's a victim? A victim is just someone who reacts to everything and everyone. And I have no choice anymore, Ian. And I know I have this little remote control. I know how Ian is going to react. And I program that. So parang social dilemma. I know what's going to push their button, And we lose the power of choice to be able to choose, right? Okay? So quickly na din to. So that's why I put here, mindset is a muscle. It's something you develop, right? One of the books that I recommend you read is Carol Dweck's Growth Mindset. She wrote about, and this is revolutionary stuff, I think. Bakit? Because we believe in affirmation, but there's a certain way where you affirm people, and she calls it fixed mindset. When I say, Ian, you're smart, bro, ang talino mo, Ian, you're handsome. Gusto ni Ian yung mga yan, di ba? Tama lahat yan, Coach. But
thank you, Coach.
We do that to our children. You're welcome. But see, it's not bad, it's not wrong. But I'm saying is it has a certain effect. But so what does Carol Dweck say about mindset that we develop is we praise not an outcome, but we praise the process. Grabe, Ian, yung effort mo sa gym, going there an hour and doing all of this stuff. You praise the process, not the outcome. So we don't say, and again, God bless you, parents, and you do whatever it is that works for you. I'm just sharing, you don't have to follow what I say. But this is research from the book where we don't just say, you're smart. Wow, ang galing-galing mo. Bakit? Because once the children get into the real world and, and not everyone is as kindly or as affirming, then they'll be in for a shock. They'll be in for a rude awakening. When my mom and dad were so supportive and everyone else is very mean, well, welcome to the real world. And alam ko na experience yun yan, It's not always going to be like that. But to prepare, to praise people for process, right? Like example, like, diba, progress versus perfection. To be able to know I'm making progress every day. That's all that matters. It's not that like I've arrived. Sa ka nag-arrive, Bam. Now I have the perfect mindset. It never happens, because And I think God's design where it keeps us humble, hopefully, the humility to know na it's a lifelong process, but it also keeps everyone relatable. Pag hindi ka na relatable, I might say, Ian, na well, maybe you've already distanced yourself and you've figured that you're better than people, but you go into an egoic process. Whenever you think you're better than people, you go to ego. Whenever you think you're less than people, mas magaling sa akin si Ian, mas matalino, it's still ego, right? That's why we say, if comparisons are inspiring for you, if it's helping you, develop to become a better person, great. But if it's something that's causing you resentment and shame, why can't I be like Bing? Or we do a lot of this on social media. Then it's not, and it causes you to become depressed. It's not very helpful for you. So why not start seeing how from 10 years ago, di ba, aren't you proud? I'm just assuming, I don't know Bing. I'm just assuming, like, aren't you proud, like, from 10 years ago, being like, how you grew, as a person, Ian? Imagine if we were still the same Ian 10 years ago. I'm just saying, there's just so much growth, I'm assuming again, for everyone here. So it's a muscle that's important to go and develop. Okay. Lastly, I put here also, you can take notes of any questions and stuff towards the end. Lastly, I put here, mindset really literally determines your destiny. Yung nag-comment ako kanina about meeting Joey, it was because like my mindset was really, I would say I was a closed person. Ang dami ko ng speakers nakita nun, sina Chinky, and like it was good, but I was so insecure. Ian, I was so scared. A lot of people are watching this. You might be struggling with insecurity and fear. I understand that. But to be able for you to make a choice to stay insecure and fearful and not allow people to give you feedback, dun mo malalaman eh. Coach, if Ian gives me feedback and says this, and I take it personally, and I hate Ian, inaway ko siya, well, that's just an indicator of a lot of insecurity for me. But it's dangerous. Bakit siya dangerous? Because it stops me from growing as a human being. It stops me from developing as a human being. And a lot of people are afraid of that, unfortunately. But sa akin, mas nakatakot sa akin to continue the way I did years ago, because I knew my destiny was clear. What was your destiny, Bang? To have no money, to hurt more people, and to hate myself. I don't want to live that destiny. No way. But I didn't know it at the time, when other people were working on themselves and making new choices. It took a little bit longer sa akin, Ian, but it was because yung issue ko, which is the truth, yung issue ko ng self-esteem was really malalim. Sobrang lalim. I really didn't like myself. So I started, of course, working on, affirmations, working on changing how I speak about myself, and stuff like that. And then it's interesting because, here we are today. You can have to go, like, does this mindset thing work? Well, I'm grateful that I'm talking to people like Ian. I'm talking with people who are creating waves of positive change here and abroad, like in broadcasts that I do. But I was not able to do that, if I chose to. And a lot of you have this with your team encouragement. If I did not choose to see myself the way God saw me, then I would have stayed exactly the same, which is worthless. And a lot of you struggle with that. A lot of you pareho pa din yung, coach, ito kasi wala talaga akong kwentang tao, ito, because it's so difficult for us to be able to see ourselves as God sees us when there's so much evidence, Bing and Ian, of how bad we are, because lumalaki tayo, what we heard, what we experienced, what we saw, and that's ingrained in our subconscious minds, and it's science now. It's fundamental to change. Again, all you have to do is like, how do I know ba meron akong ganyan? Like, do I have to go back and be hypnotized to go back when I was a little boy? No, you don't. All you have to do is see, where are you struggling today? Ulitin ko yun. All you have to do is look at your life today with all honesty. Do this by yourself so hindi ka mahiya with, where am I struggling? Well, there you go. There's a non-supportive mindset that'll determine my destiny. I can see it if you can be honest. Now, ibang training ngayon where, like, how do I get to a state where I'm honest? Because a lot of us can't be honest, because when we're honest and we say we're struggling, we judge ourselves and we label ourselves and we say, I'm weak. I'm a loser. I'm not enough. That's not the truth. That's why anyone who comes to me in my programs and they're showing this level of vulnerability and openness, I say, God bless you. Sino ba sa atin lumapit, di ba? I don't know, to God or whatever you guys believe in your spirituality, where you're like, God, I'm perfect, and there's not much you can do because thank me God kasi na-work ko lang yung sarili ko. But don't we go there, di ba? Yan, it's like, please help me. I'm like, I'm wretched. I need so much work. Help me out. Help me out. Gosh, I'm still hurting people. So there's hope. But you never get to that stage. Minsan sasabihin, I'm 10 years already, 20 years. It's lifelong. Why is it lifelong? As I wrap up, you think 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day on average, right? Google it. And out of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts, 90% of those thoughts are thoughts that you thought the day before. Now, where's the problem there? Ang problema dyan, if 90% of those thoughts are recycled, diba, pag kumain tayo sa labas, where do you order, same restaurant, you order pretty much the same food, you pretty much wear the same shirt, you style your hair the same way, you drink from your same coffee cup and all of these things, all those patterns that we do. And it's not creating space for people to create a new experience in their lives. That's why it's important to be able to study if paulit-ulit lang, no wonder walang pagbabago. And then we see someone from the outside try to say, I mean, my coaches like Ian or Bing, and they start like speaking like new ideas and new life. That's so important to have. Because if you can't see it in your own life, you might see it in the lives of other people who you might see as inspiring. But it's never to see people as like they're better than me. Like I love seeing people who are, like your leaders here. Hi to all the leaders, by the way, all over the world. Because if your leaders did not make a choice to change their mindset, you wouldn't be here today. If Joey did not make that choice, di ba, grabe the power of mindset. But all it takes is that day where you decide that, I want to commit to working on myself and getting feedback and going. Then I'll go here. Once you're able to change your mindset, everything on the outside will change as well. A lot of us are trying to change the outside. We call this the be, do, have principle. Magkaroon lang ako ng watch, magkaroon lang ako ng kotse, like everything will already change for me. No, but it's not changing. Why not? Again, 60 to 70,000 thoughts, subconscious mind. It's hindi nagbabago because you're changing the outside, but you're not changing the inside. It's very important to work from the inside out, as you have your coaches and your mentors and your pastors, whoever is helping you grow and develop yourself. Okay, so okay, I guess that was it now. Lastly, connect with me. This is my page, Bam Santiago, my IG. There's my email. And any support you guys need, let me know. I really wanted intentionally, Ian. I really wanted to, at least capture just the essence of mindset, so that I could spend time engaging people, if you will allow it, with, I don't know, might be questions. Because ang daming-dami, sobrang katakot-takot na yung mga training I know, and the slides and all of these things. So I wanted to just offer a little bit different today. Thank you. I'll stop my screen.
Thank you, Bam. Thank you. I would just like to add something, Ian. Coach Bam, I agree with you when you say mindset is a choice. Kasi meron akong na-remember na quote, Tagalog, hindi mo malalaman na mali. Okay? Hindi mo malalaman ang tama pala. Hindi mo malalaman na ang tama kung masaya kang ginagawa ang mali. Tama? 'Di ba? Kasi like kunyari, you are happy smoking, you are happy doing a lot of crazy things, alcohol, sex, diba? Womanize, and a lot of things. You will never realize that it's wrong because you are happy doing it. Diba? So I agree with this. Mindset is really a choice. It's either you go left or right, but once you determine that it's not right for you, I agree with that. I just remembered that hindi mo malalaman ang tama kung masaya kang ginagawa ang mali. Di ba?
Hugot ba yan? Parang hugot eh. Coach ba parang hugot yung yung pinibigay ni Mambing na quote eh.
Sample lang yun.
Yeah, pero totoo.
No, I was gonna say, that's why whenever we do these coaching or programs, the first step is always awareness. Like, are you even aware of what you're doing? So sabi ko, your example was, the smoking and all these things. Sabi, sige, now that there's an awareness, are you aware of the effect it has on you? Hindi ko naisip yun ah. It's automatic. Well, that's one. Are you aware of the effect it has on people around you? I'm not just talking about smoking, but whatever, all those other things. I never really thought about that. No one really had, the guts to look me in the eye and, tell me about. My stepdad stopped smoke. He was a smoker for like 35 years. Cold turkey, he stopped. And why did he stop? Well, because he had an awareness that I think I'm killing my body. That was his awareness. Eh. Cold turkey siya, walang nagsabi, like he just stopped. And now he's vegetarian, and he's 70 years old. He goes to the gym every day, literal every day. So once people have that awareness, it's quite powerful. Kaya nga sabi ko, but I think also in my experience anyway, that's why wisdom is so important. Because let's say, Ian, you got, stop mo yan. But if Ian does not have that awareness, it creates conflict for the two of us because he might not be in an awareness to see that his value might be clashing with my value, and it's a cost for a lot of things. But that's why I believe in going through the process of this is the choice you're making. What's the effect? We call that price and benefit, cost benefit analysis. O nga, no, nakakasakit, but I never had that awareness. Now, important next level is I have to see that has to be attached to an emotion. If there's no emotion for me, that's why, diba, why do you want to quit, Ian? Example, because I want to see my daughter get married. I want to see this and that. There's always a deeper emotional motivation. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, Coach, how you open up. No, we were intently listening while you were telling your story a while back. No, kasi we know you as a coach, a life and leadership coach, but most of the listeners right now did not even expect that you, Coach Bam, you were also you were also human. I mean, you had struggles when you were growing up, and that is why. Well, I just appreciate how you open up right now, and makes us appreciate you more as a coach.
I think, thank you, Ian. I started my own company in 2017. I'm grateful to God we're able to expand already to 3 other countries. My coaching has reached Germany, USA, Australia. But I share that bucket because I understand what it's like to be, to have the feeling of not being good enough, Ian. That's why I get to help people. If I go to other countries and I say, hindi ko ako makarelate sa'yo, Bing, I'm perfect. I don't have this thing, Ian. I got that. But to have a certain level of vulnerability and authenticity, and my programs are translated, it translates eh. People can see, are you speaking something authentic or nabasa mo sa book and you're trying to just show off here. But I've also seen, Ian, the most powerful transformation in life, or even online. I mean, that's why we got connected, di ba? The most powerful connections are those that are the most authentic. To know that, I don't have all the answers. I still cry. I still go through my challenges. But it's beautiful for those who have kids, for your kids to be able to see you crying and to be able to have an opportunity to tell them because daddy gets hurt, because daddy's a human being, because daddy misses mom, because daddy made a mistake. And imagine your children adopting that and saying, wow, just like daddy, I want to be like dad. But the opposite is true. Daddy doesn't have any emotions. Daddy is always strong. And then the children copy. What if they lose someone in the future when wala na tayo? How do they process that now? Because they never got to model it from mommy or daddy.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, during this time, Coach Bam, we had 2 sessions. No, I mean, we were trying to analyze what's happening around the world, and we both agreed that there's a balance that you have to embrace. It's not just good. It's not just bad. It's there's a lot to be thankful for, but there are a lot of things also to acknowledge for you to become, at least feel the humanity in you, right?
Yeah, 100%. Kaya nga sabi ko, I think the one of the most powerful realities. That's why mindset, Ian, I love that you guys, this is the topic, because if I have a mindset that's just geared towards seeing all the bad, when I meet you, automatic ako, what's bad about Ian? When I meet Bing, what's wrong with her? And I lose connection. Because I'm just coming up with diagnoses and evaluations of, Team Wellnex, Norma, everyone from all over the, automatic sa akin eh. But when I can stand in front of people and try to see like, well, maybe I see Ian, who just like me is a human being who gets hurt. but I think more to go deeper, then I see Ian as someone like me who has the same ending. We return to dust, if that's what you believe, Ian. And I mean, we're gonna die. I think basically,
Yeah.
then
No,
it gives
no
me a
one's
certain
getting
level
out here alive.
sorry.
No one's getting out this earth alive, coach.
Yeah, no, good. So I think ganun, but it gives me a certain level of respect for people, and to sort of like let the guard down and say, while we're here, let's make it real, and let's, kanya-kanyang values naman. That's why I also respect, because not everyone has that same value. For other people, it might be different. So that's why in the programs that I do also, being, I have 15-year-old kids who go there on day one, galit, and they'll say, you want to share? Yeah, I want to share. Oh, the 15-year-old will say, I don't want to be here. My mom forced me. Okay? Bakit? Because the mom thinks, coach, tulungan niyo siya, baguhin niyo siya, may kailangan siyang baguhin. And I just love and accept people the way they are. And they feel that. Hindi mo maloloko yung mga bata. I mean, they're discerning. But for them, they the whole program and to volunteer to staff the next program. Why? Because I showed them that I'm not going to change you. You feel angry and upset. I get that, because I was a teenager once as well. And a lot of those issues are still here. It just makes people connect more to the heart. Yun.
I just typed
Yeah.
in Coach Bam that
Yeah, if
maybe
you want to
somebody
ask a
wants to
question, please.
yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Yun, I'm glad that you guys are here, and any questions that you might have, kasabi ko nga, I really wanted to engage, kasi all of this stuff you can read in a book, all of this stuff you can, but to make it very real, like for me, life story is real. To be able to see where I'm struggling with my mindset. Oh, as we're waiting for a question, so what do I do, coach, with mindset? How do I change it? Well, you can do, I heard this from a cellular biologist, no? But a lot of, but it's also, I'm not recommending it, but I'm saying this is what he said. So number one is you can do hypnosis. Magpa-hypnotize ka at burahin mo lahat ng nangyari sa past. Okay, not everyone is for that or will do that. Number two, it's basic repetition. What do you mean repetition? It means that's how you learn 0 to 7 years old. You repeated things. You repeated what you heard, what you saw, what you experienced. So as an adult, it's important. Diba, madami sa atin sabi, ang hirap ng buhay, walang pera, puro problema. Well, you're repeating that. And that's why the experience is that experience. But to be able to change the way I speak, did you know that practicing 15 minutes of gratitude every day can boost your immune system by 50%? Just being in a space of gratitude and really feeling it, thinking about whatever you're grateful for. It's powerful stuff. And this is all about how the mind works, So, yun.
yeah, if there are any questions from you guys, please type in or just say you have a question, then I'll be unmuting you. If in case you have a question, we'll be entertaining 3 questions for this afternoon. I hope you guys are learning and inspired. Yes, coach.
Ano yan, meron na, may question na. Sasabihin ko lang sana, Ian, na diyan mo din malalaman yung nakikinig. Yung iba kasi naglalaba, natutulog. Habang nasa Zoom, I get it. But yeah, there was a question, sorry, there was a question kanina, I don't know if you saw it. Ito. Gusto mo basahin ko siya, Ian?
Sige, coach, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, ang dami pala mga comments. Connection, I love it. Okay, love your words. It hit me. Okay, so from JV. Taga saan si JV? Is he from Philippines ba?
Yeah,
Big
JV is from North Luzon.
What's up, North Luzon, Big Ten? Hi, JV. Kamusta? How can I connect my emotions to my awareness? That's a beautiful question. Kita mo, isang tanong lang, 3 oras na extension to. Just joking. Because I feel like I'm aware of a lot of self-developing ideas, but I never get so engrossed in them. I start working on them, but never really diving deep. I would say, first of all, is just to answer the first question, how to connect your emotions to your awareness. I would say having an awareness of I call it emotional literacy, JV, and everyone watching. I mean, be aware of what emotions you go through on a daily basis: anger, fear, happiness, guilt, joy, frustration, depression. Emotions, because we have this thing that they call pseudo emotions. I think it's emotions. Like what? What's a false emotion? I feel rejected. Rejection is not an emotion, but a lot of people don't know that. Ian, they think like, oh, hindi ba emotion yun? It's not. You know, I feel abandoned. Abandoned is not an emotion. So to have, first of all, an awareness of emotion, sad, I feel hurt, I feel pain. And now, JV, I would say, once you're feeling the emotions, then you go to the reason why you're feeling the emotion. I call that human needs. Being, I feel hurt in my relationship. Bakit, coach? Because I needed attention, because I needed connection, because I needed love. But it's something not a lot of us have, awareness around. Then yung second part mo, JV, I would say, I'm very careful about this kasi sinasabi ko naman, if it's working for you, then God bless you and you do that. I won't say like, that's the wrong way of doing, or I'll say, Ian, that's the right way. But if it's working for you, then God bless you. So ano pa ba? They're just saying thank you and daming learning, love it. Wala na. I think that's it.
I'm sure we can have something from Malu or maybe Nay Soriano or Malu. Type in your question. I'm sure you have something in mind. I'm sure everybody is just in awe, Coach Bam, the way you're speaking. Galing mo kasi mag-English kaya napapatanga kami lahat.
Pwede naman, nagtatagalog din naman ako. Grabe naman kayo.
Pwede mag-question ng Tagalog, baka naiya kayo. You can have it then. Ayan, Nay Soriano. What about fake news, Nay?
Ayun, si Ian nasasagot niyan, hindi na ako yan.
Yes, Nay, what about it? Okay. I'll try to find you, Nay, and ask Coach Bam yourself. Nay Soriano. Okay, we have 146. Okay, I'll try to find you, Nay.
Ito, Ian, wow, lakas nung Thunder. Meron akong isang question na sobrang ganda, Ian, if you allow me and
sure.
to answer it. There's a really good question here. But first of all, ito lang, is there a way, ayun, dumating yung mga tanong nila, is there a way for a person to rewire one's brain, especially those who experience extreme, oh gosh, wow. Walang simpleng sagot dito because I understand the emotional charge of, and I've coached people who have gone through a lot of traumatic, and I won't share specifically, but a lot of traumatic experiences. It's possible. It takes a lot of prayer and presence to give, and love, to help people go through the healing. But if you want to work on it by yourself, the person who asked, it's a private question. I would say, change the way you speak about yourself. Like, don't give yourself a victim identity. Yung mga nanonood dito, don't say, I was the one who was abused. I'm the person who was this. Because if that's going to be your identity, you take it with you to become your destiny for the rest of your life. But if you can use your story, and you've heard stories of people who have gone through the worst tragedies and trauma, but they don't use that story as their identity, but they live out a different life that's inspiring and helping people. So I would say, be careful using it as who you are. Be very careful. Okay, so paano po yung nag-gossip na wala? Ito yung gusto ko, Ian, Paano yung nag-gossip na wala naman pong katotohanan? May ganun bang tao, Ian, na nag-gossip? Wala pa akong na-experience. May mga nag-chismis ba? Totoo ba yan? May mga, no? Meron nga pala.
Totoo yan,
madaming chismis. Ha?
Totoo yan, Sa showbiz. Totoo sa showbiz yan.
Sa showbiz lang. Wala dito, di ba? No, but what I'm saying with gossip, this is important. I've coached a lot of people with this as well, who are having difficulty. Coach, people are saying bad things about me. People are doing this about me. Then I share this framework, and I hope it will help you. 3 things to understand, and I hope you get it like deep in your heart. Number 1, your business, other people's business, and God's business. Okay, that's the framework I use. Your business is how you think, how you feel, and the actions that you take. That is the only thing that you are 100% in control of in life. How you think, how you feel, the actions you take. Other people's business, kahit untog mo yung ulo mo sa pader, kahit na sunugin mo yung yung kotse, whatever it is you do. If people want to say what they want to say, they will say what they want to say. God's business, of course, is life and death, the weather and all of that stuff. But I say, if it's out of your business, Ian, You can't control whether people like you or not. You can't control the unkindness. But I can control being that I just choose kindness. Other people might not choose kindness. But what's with it? Bakit? Once there's a day of reckoning, if you believe that, then I will say, Ian, Ian might have a conversation. It's my metaphor. God, buisit kasi itong ganito. Like, Ian, I don't see anyone. I just see you. What did you do? Well, I chose to be unkind and angry and hurt people. Well, that's on you, because I don't see anyone else here in this chamber. But if I look at Ian and I say, so what happened in your life? Well, I see kindness that you did, and it doesn't matter what other people were doing, but I saw all the kindness, and it's all recorded for me. And I do believe life records that, God records that. Then that's all that matters for me. Otherwise, and then I'll also say, bakit importante? Well, because what if people were unkind to you and you became unkind to them? What if you're always in that environment? Di naging unkind ka na din. You never got to choice. You never got to change your mindset. So that's why it's always choice. Okay lang, yan, to continue reading. I don't know with you how you are with time. May mga iba pa eh.
Yeah. I'd like to continue with Nay. Nay, I have put you on co-host already. You can ask your question about your trouble with fake news. Nay Soriano, go ahead.
Hello, Mentor Ian. Thank you so much. Sorry po wala yung video kasi medyo may problema yung phone.
Okay lang.
Pero ang regarding po, thank you pala Mentor Edward Santiago for mga sharings. Actually, yung mga sharings niyo po, naririnig ko na po siya sa ibang mga motivational speakers din po. Yung mga mindset and those. And yung question ko po is related sa mga fake news kasi there are times na minsan nakakalito na siya na start of the day pa lang parang meron ng may sumabog na ganito. Like, even sa Facebook and all, minsan parang authentic na ang hirap na talagang i-filter ko ano yung totoo sa hindi, especially for a mom like me. And actually po kasama din po ako sa isang prayer ministry. So we really need to acknowledge that there are things that is happening that is uncontrollable. Pero yung iba din is we need to be aware kung ano yung totoo kasi we do pray for countries, for the people. So paano po yung paano natin siya, paano ako in a start of my day may ganun, paano ko po mas-shift ng mas maigi pa at malaman yung ma-discern siya, ma-filter kung ano yung totoo o hindi, kung ano yung nakakalito sa talaga dapat paniwalaan.
I love your question, Nay. Actually, we had 2 episodes and we never finished, Coach Bam, right? Discussing this one. Yes, Coach Bam, how does she handle?
Oh no, sorry. Akala ko okay na ba? No, because that's why I invited Ian. In a live because of this. But okay ka na ba, Ian? If you answer, then maybe I'll add. I mean, that's the reason I invited you, bro. Mag-add on na lang ako. Okay lang ba?
Yeah. Nay, whatever resonates with you, you cannot embrace everything. You'll go crazy embracing everything, Nay. Now, you cannot read everything. There will always be multiple sides of the story.
Yes.
Always. No? It's not just 2 sides of the story. Sabi nga, there's 3. No? Kung may nag-aaway, I mean, if it's the opinion of A and the opinion of B, and the other side is the truth. So there's sometimes 3 sides of the story, multiple sides of the story. You just have to embrace what resonates with you. So if you're not comfortable with something, although it sounds and it is written na parang fact, parang okay siya, parang well-researched, but if it disturbs you, I guess you cannot embrace everything. I can see that Nay is a prayerful person. So go with that. I mean, with all that's happening, turning in your faith into God will solve everything. Diba? I mean, I can see you have a good connection with God and you want to stay that way. So kung ano man yung kaguluhan na nakikita mo sa Facebook, just lessen Facebook and go more with the Bible, I guess. I'm sure you will be more comfortable and you will see more truth actually. Sa Bible, walang masyadong fake news. Actually, walang fake news. It's all good news there. Coach, you can add anything.
Yeah, well, for me, it's always been like again, brother, that's why I wanted to engage you in conversation. Kasi, I mean, the words I use is waking up. Like, a lot of us, like, we do things without ever questioning why we do them. Alam niyo yung story, I know, in one of your motivational talks where this lady, nagluluto siya ng isda, pinuputol niya lagi or roast, pinuputol yung dalawang side, tapos ginaya siya nung anak niya din, and then bakit niyo ginagawa yun, when nasasayang yung roast, whatever we're cooking? Oh, because my grandmother used to do that. Like, why did grandma used to? Well, no one ever asked us. Ngayon pala, pinuputol yun kasi maliit lang daw yung oven niya, hindi nagkakasya. So, I mean, it's something that's passed on. So, for people to start questioning things, that's why, again, I love the way Ian processes things. And I'm also questioning and processing what he's saying. See? I think that's why being able to have intellect is important. So you can process. But mahirap mag-process if you're coming from one side. That's why ako, Ian, and whoever asked the question, Sidney, I always look at both sides. Like, I see what points do you have here and what points do you have there. Otherwise, if I'm just maging echo chamber na lang yan parang nag-uusap lang kami ni Ian, coach, tama, ikaw tama ka din, we become blinded. Like, we don't hear anything else. But to be able to hear another opinion and another point of view, and I know, again, in the seminars you do that, where you see like we're fighting, but I'm just not seeing another point of view. And I try to, this is where wisdom is important. That's why I pray for a lot of wisdom, because there's a lot of intelligent sounding things. That does not mean they're wise or they're God-breathed or from the source. So I think it's important to see both and to I guess ask, and also if it's something that aligns with your values, but not to be very close as well. As Ian is very open, he has a lot mataas yung openness mo in terms of the personality traits. A lot of people are not very open. That's another personality trait. So that's where it can create a lot of conflict. So yeah.
I hope we have helped you, Nay. Cut out on some Facebook hours maybe para malesen yung news.
Yeah, ito
masyado ka nang nalilito.
Sabi niya to cut daw sa mga nega news. She wants to cut. Pero iba naman po, parang totoo minsan nakakalito na. Well, that's why I also have a I call it my spiritual GPS. I think it's basic for me. When I coach and help people, coach, this happening sa akin, and what does it feel like? Oh, nakakatakot, coach, may mamamatay, may ganito. I say, well, I just don't believe that it aligns with God's spirit, which is not fear. And if I'm seeing fear, I'm gonna die, we're gonna die, we're all gonna die. And I had a conversation with a friend. I mean, Coach, it's fear mongering. It's leading us away from trusting in God. And well, where does that lead us if it's fear? It weakens our immune system. That's one. It makes us able to disease. That's another. It doesn't give you peace of mind, insomnia. So sasabihin ko it's fear. It's not aligning me to peace, right? Which transcends all understanding and all that. Yun, ano pa ba?
Coach, I have one here. From
No, go. I'm enjoying this. Oh, okay na ba yung time natin? You're okay?
Yeah, we still have some time.
Sige.
This is from Miss Pam Haro. Sabi niya dito, Sir Bam, you mentioned that rejection is not an emotion. Then what is it?
Oh, well, rejection is a process of thinking. It's how you think. Like it's a lot. It goes back as early as teenage years for guys. I'll approach this girl because I like her. Oh, she doesn't wanna. I'm rejected. It's a thinking. It's a process of. But it for me. Kaya nga sabi ko, I'm very careful about right or wrong. But you just have to say if my thinking that I'm always rejected, if it's making me feel good and it's helpful for me, well, do it, diba? But I think a majority of people that I've helped and coached, rejection, when they start thinking rejection, they're discouraged. Ang hirap naman ng business, ayoko na nito, So then I say, maybe a change in mindset will help you. A change in how you see life. Maybe it's not even rejection. What is it? Maybe the value that you're offering is something that people, we call that the 12 o'clock principle. Maybe at this point in their life, they're not prepared for it yet. But bakit? Ikaw, ilang tao ba nag-present sa'yo before and you were not ready for it? How many people did you reject? I'm just as an example, because you weren't ready, but you didn't really mean to reject them. Like I never thought about that. Well, you process it yourself. How many people sinungitan mo din in the past? Eh, oo nga, no? Ako din pala yun. And then they were thinking you rejected them, but you just were not ready. You were not in that space. So I would be very careful about mental processes, but I would also go online and check all the emotions. Ang dami. Frustration, anger. And but once you're already a step ahead if you know that you are in an emotion and not a false emotion.
Yeah, I hope that answers the question, Miss Pam. Rejection is actually the action, and then your reaction creates the emotion, and that's based on your mindset. So, halimbawa,
Correct.
if you were rejected and you felt bad, so it has a lot to do with the state of mind you're in right that moment. So you can be emotional that moment. You can also be open-minded and accept the truth and accept the rejection as a redirection.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
it yes,
I,
coach.
I also must say, I've also noticed people, they say they're rejected by other people, Ian, but I've seen this so many times. A lot of people are rejecting themselves. You know, they think that if I get enough approval from other people and they like what I'm sharing or selling, then I start liking myself. It doesn't, mahirap yung ganun eh. But if you start, loving, liking, appreciating yourself and not rejecting yourself, parang we're all looking for that instance. Tingnan mo, Ian, na-reject na naman ako. Parang nagpapile up yung evidence natin just to prove to you that I'm right, that I'm not worthy or I'm not, capable. So I would be very careful about, bringing awareness, like where am I also rejecting myself? When no one is watching you, you're rejecting yourself because you say you're ugly, you're weak, hindi ka kasing galing. You're rejecting yourself already, So, ano pa ba?
Yeah. I have one here, coach. I hope we have answered your question, Miss Pam. We have another one here. What is much better? Do things with or without emotions? As I observe, many people struggle emotionally. Is it good to act without emotions? This is from Vincent Fontanilla, Team Spearheads.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can do this very just on the spot basic example. Good morning, everyone. My name is Coach Bam. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited being to meet you. Nay, wow, everyone all over the world. Mahina boses ko, lalakasan ko. I'm excited to be here. My name is Bam. I will create amazing impact for your team today. As I mean, I'm playing around, but I mean, you understand how powerful it is. And my example kanina Ian was also love. I mean, why I connected with Ian, I could see emotion sa kanya. I mean, emotion is it's energy in motion. So, but we're not. It's not something that's taught sa atin in school. I don't know what school sina Nay went to. Maybe when Nay was a little child. Hi Nay, good morning. What emotion are you feeling? I'm happy. Yeah, you get a star. Not usually like that. It's usually Nay. Welcome, good morning. Sit in your chair. Memorize all these things and let me grade you. These are your wrongs. These are your right. So, and we've sort of like touched this thing ni Ian. It's an age-old thing. We're still there today, where I'm not ever able to express emotions. And because I don't know, a lot of you might have may pinagdaanan kayong ganito where now the issue for teenagers it's suicide. But how can I deal with suicide, Ian, when I don't even know anong mga emotion? Wala yan. Wag mo nang intindihin yan. Because we were not trained to be able to, or equipped rather, to be able to understand emotions that our kids are going through. And we go crazy, like, then gagawin pa natin, we make it about us. Am I a bad parent? Masama ba akong anak? And then, it's a crazy thing. So I think we're emotional beings. But however, it does not mean like we do not use intellect. Kaya nga sabi ko, follow your heart, but bring your brain with you. Diba? So, I mean, I love, obviously, nakita nyo, I'm a thinker. But when I do my processes, they're very emotional. Because I've never had a seminar or a program where parang yung intro ko kanina, where it would connect to people. But people, and this, Sante, all the leaders, anong nagko-connect sa inyo? Your story. It's your story. Why you're doing the business. How it helped heal someone in your family. How it's helping you live a healthier lifestyle. The emotion connects. Your story connects. Right? Good luck. Hi, I'm going to present Sante to you. Nagbago buhay ko dito. Sana sumali ka. Grabe, tignan mo yung pagbabago ko ngayon. And I'm not trying to make fun, but I'm saying I know then you develop, you get a little bit better to connect because, we all struggle with that in the beginning. So I hope that answered also Vincent. Try to make it a little light lang, masyadong seryoso yan. Para nang masaya
Yeah.
natin.
Oo,
Yeah.
masyadong binabantay ni Vincent how he would react. Pero actually, whatever you feel no, on certain situations, it actually teaches you something. No? Pag madali kang mapikon, maybe it's teaching you patience. Diba? I mean, you can always find it. It's actually a mirror. Whatever your response to anything, it's actually a mirror of your whatever you're struggling with. So, clue yan ha, clue. So, kung madali po kayong mapikon, you have to check on your patience level. So, it's actually there's so much lesson in whatever takes you, 'di ba coach? Pag yung
Yeah. I would also say, being able to be aware of paano mo pinapersonal lahat ng naririnig mo. Because not everyone will be kind. Not everyone will say nice words. But if you're able to do it for yourself, if you're able to check your intentions and your motives, kaya nga sabi ko, as long as I'm clear, when I'm with Ian, my prayer and my intention for him is to bless, encourage, and have fun. That's it. I mean, whatever happens it's secondary. But as long as I'm clear with my intention, with people that I interact with, me being here, then I've done my job. It feels light for me. So, yun lang. Dami pa dito. Naglabasan na yung mga tanong iyan.
yes, na-encourage na sila magtanong. By the way, Coach, I'd like to acknowledge the presence. He just came in the Zoom meeting, our Chief Network Development Officer. He was also part of the LLM Batch 1. Sir Paul Kaluwag is
Hi,
here.
Paul.
Hi, Sir Paul.
Hi, Bam. Hi. Sorry I'm late. I just came from various meetings. I really wanted to catch up. No? So thank you. Thank you for gracing us, Bam. Really
Thank you
appreciate it.
for having me here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's our pleasure, Bam. Yeah, go on. Yeah, please.
So, yeah, let's find some more questions. Samantalahin nyo na po. We still have a few minutes before we close and wrap up this afternoon. Any more questions from the leaders? I'm sure everybody's in awe. I
Ito,
have one here.
may nag-comment lang Ian. Sobrang timing po ito kasi may patient po kasi ako, hirap siya control ang emotion. Sobrang helpful to think. I hope may next webinar ulit. So yeah, I mean, you will have people na they let their emotions run loose. It's also very dangerous. Bakit? Because if I'm angry and I just wanna express my anger, that's why we say, jargon din namin to Ian I say acknowledge how you're feeling, but be responsible in how you express it and how you let it go. Because I can acknowledge that I'm angry because I get angry, but it doesn't mean I will hurt my spouse or my kids. So, I'm angry. Bakit ako, ito pa isa, galit ako, bakit ako galit? Kasi ikaw, Ian, wala kang kwentang leader wala kang kwentang tao Then we start blaming people. Anong mangyayari kay Ian? Mag-aaway na kami. So a lot of people are not aware, like, I can express my emotions, but the moment I go to blaming people why I'm upset or angry, you lose your opportunity to, build deep connections with people. Bakit? Because, no one wants to be around people who are blaming them for how they feel. So, and iba naman sa atin, magpapasakop tayo, we'll allow ourselves to be manipulated and say, oh, it was, sorry Ian, dahil sa akin. And then you feel bad about yourself. Resentment grows. Bakit nagpamanipulate ka? Now, it was you that caused someone to feel not good or bad. That's what I'm saying. Being aware of your intentions and your motivations in life is important. As long as you knew it, then I can say, Ian, I'm sorry, I apologize. I did not mean, please forgive me. Because forgiveness is great. Diba? Basta clear ka sa ganun But to be able to not let people manipulate you is very, very important as well.
Yeah. You try out peace. For those who have a lot of trouble with other people, try out reconciliation and peace. It actually feels good when you're reconciling with people. One question from JV Luyong. I'd like to try po yung 15 minutes of gratitude, and I'd like to know po, how does the emotion of gratitude feel? I get entertained, but is it the same with gratitude? JV, count your blessings. You can easily compare your life to other people, and that, boy, is enough for you to feel gratitude. But Coach, how do you answer his question?
Yeah. Pwede ba, can you give me like 2 minutes? Pwede ba yun? May time pa ba? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So let me show you in an experiential way. And ang request ko lang, please, everyone here, please participate so that when it's done, mga 2 to 3 minutes at So when it's done, ikaw mag-assess like how it felt for you, right? So I'm gonna ask everyone, if you're not driving, if you're safe at home, to in a moment you'll be closing your eyes, but I'll ask you to take a deep breath. So please participate, lalo na yung nagtanong. So everyone, take a deep breath. And if it's safe, you're just at home, close your eyes, and I'll let me let you experience this gratitude that I'm talking about. So as you close your eyes, I want you to just be aware of all the sounds dyan sa bahay. It could be the noise outside. It could be children. It could be dishes. It could be the sound of yung electric fan mo or your aircon. And I want you to just think in your mind, it's okay. It's okay to have all those thoughts of all these sounds around you. Perhaps I want you to also, as you close your eyes, to focus on your breathing, on your in-breath through your nose and your out-breath through your mouth. Automatically, for a lot of you here, more than 100 people, you're feeling this stress release because the way you're breathing is very shallow, very stressed. And as you're focusing on your breathing, I want you to, if you're able to just put one hand on your heart, could be your right hand or your left hand. And I want you to just feel your heart. Some of you, sobrang busy nyo na. You're not able to feel your heart anymore. Some of you, perhaps as you put your hand there in your heart, maybe there's sadness, maybe there's pain, maybe there's longing for you for people to notice you, for people to hear you. Maybe there's some people you miss today. But as you put your hand on your heart, I want you to imagine just breathing there from your heart center. And I want you right now to imagine, as you're breathing in and out, at your own pace, walang tama, walang mali. I want you to imagine in front of you the faces of people whom you love. People na mga mahal mo. Think about them now. It could be mama, papa. Could be one of your siblings, kapatid mo. It could be your husband or wife. Maybe one of your children, pamangkin mo. It could be a dear friend of yours or a pet that brings so much joy in your life. Think about them now. Continue with your eyes closed and breathing, feeling your heart. And I want you to look at them and imagine looking into their eyes, seeing how much they love you. Imagine them now sharing love with you just through their eyes without talking. And I want you to imagine the past year, maybe the past week, the past day. Nagpasalamat ka na ba sa mga bagay sa bahay mo? Maybe your bed, kung saan ka man natutulog, maybe your pillow, the clothes that you wear, maybe the food that you get to eat. Perhaps meron kang telepono or laptop, nakakonect ka dito today, nagpasalamat ka na ba for that? Maybe the fact that you still have your business or your health. Imagine all those things that you are grateful for now personally, na hindi ko alam. Could be healing. It could be just connection and love for people. Right now, as we end, I want you to imagine nakikita mo yung sarili mo in front of you. How many of you have given thanks to God perhaps for you, for your life? How many of you are even proud of you seeing yourself here? Na you never quit. Or maybe if you failed in the past, you kept going. I want you to really feel that gratitude for yourself, that love. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Take another deep breath. When you're ready, you can open your eyes, feeling all that gratitude. So that was an experience of, and I like everyone to just be in this moment. That's just like 2 to 3 minutes. But imagine allowing yourself to be there. A lot of you, hindi kayo huminga ng ganyan kalalim for a long time. A lot of you were not able to because it's so busy. You know, technology, meetings, all the stuff, our kids, school, appointment, we got to make money. So many of us rarely get to have these opportunities to connect to our hearts again. So if you're emotional doing that, congratulations, you connected to your heart. If you really thought about people, congratulations, bakit? Ngayon, alam mo na naman yung, the importance of why you're doing what you're doing. It's just that reminder. And that's why, also congratulations, but why? Because that also just enhanced your immune system. Because it took you from fight or flight to rest and digest, mode where you're able to breathe a little bit more deeply. Imagine being able to do that every day. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, Coach, it answered a lot of everybody's question actually here. And thank you, JV, for bringing that up. No, JV kasi is quite young, Coach, about 17 years old yata or
Oh, wonderful.
18. Yeah, that's why, well, JV, that's good, no? Trying to find out what it really feels, no?
Yeah.
I just want to remind you that you're blessed being a Luyong. That's one, no? He's the son of one of our top distributors here in Sante, Coach. And thank you,
And
JV, for bringing that up because
no,
if
I want to say, Ian, I mean, JV, 17, imagine yung question mo. And I try to share this to the younger generation. Sabi ko, your question allowed me to do a process that I feel perhaps might have helped so many people. So never ever, I mean, for everyone, like, your age, I'm too old, coach, I'm too young. I mean, it's never about that. It's just, if it's something from your heart that you want to share, imagine the impact that it has. I mean, like I said, I've had 15, 13, and whenever they do or are asked process like ito JV, you just touched everyone here. I didn't even know your age. So that's how that's how impactful you are. Yun lang.
yeah, that's right. So don't feel bad, JV. I want to see you smile right now. I'm actually looking at you. Thank you for triggering that. No, napaka-helpful, JB, no naging exercise. And Coach Bam, no, from the bottom of our hearts, we are so thankful. The gratitude is overwhelming. 141 people inside Zoom. I think it's close to 200 outside at Facebook Live. Coach Bam, if you have a program coming up, please do invite everybody. You can share a poster. I think I saw one in your post. But I'd like to thank you, Coach Bam, for really gracing this afternoon. Uh, Gratitude beyond words.
Um, Ian, I mean, God bless you, brother. Tsaka, I'm so grateful that we got to connect itong, this quarantine period. Thank you, Nay, being everyone who engaged, people from all over the world who watched today. Apple, salamat sa inyo. Of course, Paul, who's here, nakahabol. I see all your messages, Wellnex team and everyone. Salamat sa inyo. I'm just grateful, I'm grateful that I have another opportunity to be able to share. The program that I run, it's called Unbounded. It's just ganito. It's just we connect, we share. It's a space where people get to be open and authentic and connect. I share frameworks for change and leadership there. It's all online. If it's something that interests you, I mean, you can just message Ian or connect with me. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the topic, darling. We all need it. I mean, lalo na yung mga people internationally, you're not here. The challenges that you guys go through on your own there, we all need encouragement, but it has to be sa akin tangible encouragement. It's not something that we just wish for people, but to experience something like this, I think it's very helpful. So salamat sa lahat ng mga tanong nyo. And yeah, I mean, I hope to see you in one of my programs. Just go through Ian, and we're connected naman.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. How
Thank
about
you,
a big...
Coach Bam. Maraming salamat, Coach Bam. Thank you. I know everything has a purpose. The time you gave today might be short, but it meant a lot for every one of us here. And thank you, Ian, for bringing him here in this webinar, because I know when I do understand na marami para tayong matutulungan because we have one mission, which is to help people live better lives. Maraming salamat, Coach Bam.
I see the tears, Ma'am Bing. Thank you, Ma'am Bing, for opening up also and being part of the exercise. Coach Bam, before we end, hindi namin palalampasin itong pagkakataon na makapagpa-picture sa'yo kahit sa Zoom lang. So I'll put everybody on...
Videos open.
Yeah. Cameras open for our picture with Coach Bam.
Yes. Bring your best smile.
Okay. So if everybody's ready... Page 1, smile. Okay, 6 pages. Page 2. Page 3. 4. Page 5. Sir Eugene is here. Hi, Sir Eugene Sugian. Page 6. Coach Bam, from the bottom of our hearts, the gratitude is overflowing. Wow, this afternoon was indeed enlightening, encouraging. Lahat na, Coach. No? Nagulat kami na napaiyak po pa nga kami lahat at the last 2 minutes of the program. Coach, one final word before we end.
Oh, I guess just, God bless everyone. And, just always be kind to yourself. Yun lang message ko lagi. Because life gets really challenging many times. It's not just about the money, it's relationships, it's our health. I think being aware of our ending will perhaps lead us to have more compassion and kindness for ourselves and other people. So may you live life, with kindness and joy and abundance. So God bless you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, I would just like to remind everyone again for tonight's, I'm taking advantage of the many people here inside the Zoom and from Facebook. No, tonight's talk, Doctor Wellness Training, is a talk about Dr. Mikey Vergara, 2 enzymes or 2 nutrients, SOD and beta-glucan. Very, very short lang kanyang talk. I encourage no Zoom training, but all will be in Facebook. And for Wednesday, do we have the poster? Can we share the screen, Ian? Next Wednesday, September 27, another webinar. That will be a mouth dental care, okay, mouth care by Dr. J.M. Grabe. No? So another, it's wellness talk naman tayo on September 30, September 30 again next Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Okay? So, wala yung poster. Anyways, the posters are up already.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just share the poster sa GC.
I think Sir Paul would like to say some few words for our business owners. Hi, sir. Thanking everyone here. Ay, nawala pa si Sir.
Baka hindi ready, Ma'am Bing, si Sir Paul.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you, Ma'am Bing. That's for next Wednesday, Dr. J.M. Grave Oral Care. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a wonderful, enlightening, really emotionally filled afternoon because we have a life and leadership coach in Coach Bam Santiago. We are so happy to be connected with you again, Coach Bam, and I hope to have you again. I hope we can have you again in future trainings. So in behalf of everybody, the whole Engaged NetDev team, the whole Sante management team, and all the leaders, okay, we thank you, Coach Bam, for enlightening us, for helping us getting in touch with the deeper side of our emotions in ourselves, and trying to figure out what that winning mindset means to us to finally win and be on track on where we want to really go in life. So everybody, palakpakan po natin Coach Bam Santiago. Yan. So Coach Bam, I'll be turning on the microphone. I'll be unmuting everybody so everybody can thank you personally. So I'll be unmuting everybody. Say your thanks to Coach Bam.
Thank you.
Music pa siya.
Thank you, Sir
Thank
Ian.
you, Coach, sa lahat.
Bam.
King,
Hi.
Coach Ian and
hello.
Thank you,
Bebas.
Coach Ian. Thank you,
And
Coach.
Thank you.
hello.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you po.
Salamat po. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you,
po.
sir. Sir Bam, thank you.
Okay, so
Thank you, Sir
you.
Ian. Thank you, Ma'am Bing.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Thank you again, Coach Bam. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. This has been another edition of the Crisis or No Crisis. Indeed, the grass is greener with Sante International. I'm Sir Ian Pagkanlungan in behalf of the whole Sante Engaged NetDev team. Thank you very much for joining us, and bye-bye. Thank you, Coach. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Ryan Lopez. Happy birthday sa baby mo. Thank you, Miss Janlyn, Miss Bing. Thank you sa leaders po na nakinig. If you've been touched and na-appreciate nyo po yung training, feel free to share this video. Thank you very much and bye-bye. Have a nice afternoon.